Hello, all, welcome back to Project Mastery Podcast, where we don't just tell you the right PMP answer, we tell you why the other options are traps. Today we are doing 3 very PMP style what should the PM do next questions, all on risk management process flow. Listen carefully because most wrong answers come from doing the right thing but in the wrong order. Let's move on to question 1. You have just picked up the project, stakeholders are already throwing risk statements at you. The supplier may delay, permits may be late, weather could hit us. The sponsor says, let's put migration plans in place right now. What should the project manager do next? The options given are start creating migration actions for the listed risk, add the risk directly to the risk register and assign owners, develop the risk management plan to define how risk will be identified, analyzed and responded, or perform qualitative risk analysis on the identified risk. The answer is option C, develop the risk management plan. Why is this option the right answer? This is straight PMI thinking. You plan the risk approach before you start identifying, analyzing or responding. The process is plan risk management, identify risk, qualitative analysis, quantitative analysis, plan responses, implement and monitor. Without risk management plan, you don't even know what probability and impact scale you will use, who will own risk, how often you will review, what thresholds trigger action. Other options are just traps. Start creating migration actions. Too early, you don't jump to mitigate before you even define how you will manage risk. Add the risk directly to the risk register. This is also too early. You can't have a proper risk register before you have defined the format and method. Perform qualitative risk analysis. You cannot analyze risk before you have planned the criteria. PMP rule is if risk work is happening without a plan, the next step is plan risk management. Next question, which is about you have identified, now prioritize. Let's say you already have a risk management plan. You conduct a workshop with a team of stakeholders and you identified a long list of threats and opportunities. It's a bit raw list, nothing is prioritized. What should the PM do next? Move straight to quantitative risk analysis, or perform qualitative risk analysis to prioritize identified risk, or you start implementing responses for the high impact risk, or you update the issue log and close minor risk. The right answer is perform qualitative risk analysis. Why is this option right? Once you have identified risk, the next PMP step is to qualitatively analyze them, meaning rate probability and impact, look at urgency or proximity, check data quality, decide which one deserves deeper analysis. This is how you turn a messy list into a prioritized risk register. The other options are traps. Move straight to quantitative. PMP says quantitative is for selected high priority risk. You don't do it on the whole list. Start implementing response is also not the right option. It's too early. You don't plan or implement responses before you know which risk matter most. Update the issue log and close minor risk. These are risks, not issues, and close comes much later after monitoring. PMP loves the order in which you execute process. It is always identify, then qualitative, maybe quantitative, and then plan responses. Moving on to the next question. You have done qualitative risk analysis and now you have a priorities list, high, medium, low. Some high priority risks could increase cost and delay the schedule. Your sponsor says, okay, but how much are we talking? In rupees or dollars and in days? What should PM do next? The project manager should either perform a quantitative risk analysis on selected high priority risk, or start planning and assign risk responses to all identified risk, or rerun the identified risk process to find missed risk, or update the risk register and close low risk. What is the right action that the project manager needs to take now in this situation? Project manager must perform quantitative risk analysis. This is exactly when you go quantitative, when stakeholders want numerical exposure. What is the total project risk? What contingency do we need? Quantitative techniques like EMV, Monte Carlo, decision tree give the sponsor the how much answer. Other options are traps. Plan and assign response to all risk. Planning response comes after quantitative, especially on large or complex projects. Re-identify risk, not the next logical step. Nothing in the question says the list is incomplete. Update and close low risk. Administrative, not the next PMI step. If management is asking how much, go quantitative. If the management is asking what should we fix first, that was qualitative. We have come to the end of the episode. Drop in your score. Thank you for tuning in.